Hi guys, I'm just going to show you a little rough guide on how you can put some streaks into your human hair extensions. Now if you decide to put a few little darker highlights in your hair, this is a way of just adding the dark bits to your hair extensions. Now this is not an instructional video, it's just a guide, and remember, if you do buy your hair extensions, it's at your own discretion on whether to dye them or not. After you've dyed them, they can't be exchanged. So just be very careful when doing so. Now I've had to do this a few times because I've changed my hair colour quite a lot, and I would just buy a box dye from somewhere like Superdrug or Boots or a drugstore, if you guys in the US call it. Always go for a darker colour if you're dyeing, because it's dangerous doing it lighter unless it's a hairdresser doing it, because it can always end up ginger and you don't really want to have ginger streaks through your hair. So I would suggest only do this if you're going to go a little bit darker and put some dark streaks through it. So I'd say always do a strand test, so you would just snip a tiny wee bit off the extensions and dye it beforehand to make sure it's going to go to the right colour. So you're going to lay your hair out, each piece separate on the towel, and if you just want to run the brush through it. Now I'd say to use a toothbrush if you're going to be putting streaks through the hair. So what you're going to do is you would dip the toothbrush into the dye, and then you'd start to separate a little strand of hair, and you'd run from the top of the hair right down with the dye to the bottom, and make sure that you're going to get up to the clip area and take it as far up as possible, because this area you can sometimes miss out and have little gaps in the dye. So if you make sure that you spread it as much as possible up the top, and you might have to keep dipping into the dye to get it with the same amount down the bottom, and then do the same again. You're going to pull out another streak and just separate that from the hair that you're not going to be dyeing, and then again just use the toothbrush with the dye and run it all the way down. Now it's up to you how thick you're going to do your streaks. You could just pull out thinner pieces like that, and again we'd do the same, or you can have them thicker, but just try and leave gaps in between so that it's spread out right through the hair. After you put the dye in, you're just going to follow the instructions that come in the dye box. I hope that's helped you a little on how to apply the dye to them when you're going to be putting the streaks in them, and good luck with dyeing them.